So you're looking for financial advice, right? But the moment you start searching, you run into this huge problem. The two biggest names in the game are pointing in completely opposite directions. It's confusing. So which path is actually the right one for you?
You know that feeling, right? Maybe you feel like you're just buried under this mountain of debt. Or maybe you're just stuck on that hamster wheel, working harder and harder, but not really going anywhere. You know some things gotta change, but what's the first step?
Well, in one corner, you've got Dave Ramsey. He's kind of like your tough love financial coach, focused on discipline and changing your habits. And in the other corner, Robert Kiyosaki. He's more of a financial educator, trying to totally rewire the way you think about money. Two giants, two wildly different playbooks.
All right, here's how we're gonna break this all down. First, we'll dive into Ramsey's all-out war on debt. Then, we'll shift gears and look at Kiyosaki's plan for building assets. And finally, we'll put them head-to-head and see where their ideas really clash.
Okay, let's kick things off with Dave Ramsey. Now, for him, getting your money right isn't about some complicated spreadsheet or a secret stock tip. Nope, he says the biggest problem with your money is the person staring back at you in the mirror.
And this one idea right here is the absolute key to his entire system. He is convinced that winning with money is a psychological game. If you can fix your habits, you can fix your life. The math, that's the easy part.
You can see this focus on psychology perfectly in his famous debt snowball method. Now, a lot of people say, shouldn't I pay off the highest interest rate first? And yeah, mathematically, that makes sense. But Ramsey's not playing a math game, he's playing a motivation game. When you knock out that first smallest debt, you get this quick win, this jolt of energy that makes you feel like, hey, I can actually do this. That momentum is what he's after.
His whole system is this super structured, step-by-step plan. You follow the recipe, no skipping ahead. You focus on one baby step at a time with what he calls gazelle intensity, like a gazelle running from a cheetah. It's all about that methodical, focused climb towards stability.
So where does all this intense focus lead? To a place Ramsey calls financial peace. What is that, really? It's the feeling of owning everything, free and clear. Just imagine it for a second. No car payment, no student loans, not even a mortgage. You own nothing to nobody. That's the end game here. Total freedom from debt. Okay, now let's do a complete 180 and talk about Robert Kiyosaki. He looks at the financial world completely differently. If Ramsey says the problem is your behavior, Kiyosaki says, nope, not it. For him, the real problem is that you were never taught how money actually works. We're all trained to be employees, not investors.
And everything in his world, everything, starts with this one simple but kind of revolutionary idea. He totally redefines assets and liabilities. Forget what the bank says. Kiyosaki's rule is dead simple. If something puts money in your pocket, it's an asset. If it takes money out of your pocket, it's a liability. End of story.
And that simple definition is the key to escaping what he calls the rat race. For most people, the pattern is the same. Your paycheck comes in, and then poof, it goes right back out to pay for the mortgage, the car, all those liabilities. The rich, he says, play a different game. They use their income to buy assets, and those assets then generate even more income to buy more assets. It's a totally different cycle.
And this right here, this is probably his most famous and most controversial statement. People hear this and they just lose their minds. But think about it from his perspective using his rule. Does the house you live in put money in your pocket every month? No way. You're the one paying the mortgage, the property taxes, the insurance, the repairs. It's constantly taking money out. So by his definition, it's a liability.
So you see, the ultimate goal for Kiyosaki is completely different from Ramsey's. It's not about being debt-free. It's about being work-free. The dream is to build up your column of assets so big that the cash they spit out pays for your entire lifestyle. At that point, your money is working for you and you're free.
All right, so we've looked at the two paths. Now let's really put them head to head. Because when you see their core beliefs side by side,
That's when you really start to question everything you thought you knew about money.
I mean, the contrast is just stark. Ramsey says debt is pure evil and you need to destroy it. Kiyosaki says, hold on, good debt is a tool to get rich. Ramsey sees your home as a blessing to be paid off for security. Kiyosaki calls it a liability that drains your wealth. They are on completely different planets, chasing different things, security versus cash flow. When you boil it all down, they can't even agree on what the fundamental problem is. Ramsey looks at someone struggling and says, the problem is the man in the mirror. It's a behavior issue. Kiyosaki looks at the exact same person and says, the problem is your education. You just weren't taught the real rules of money. And because they diagnose the problem differently, their solutions are worlds apart. Ramsey's solution for a behavior problem is a rigid, proven plan, a recipe. Just follow the steps with intensity. But since Kiyosaki sees a knowledge problem, his solution is education. Learn the game, change your mindset, and start building your own business, which to him is your asset column.
So, to sum it up, the Ramsey path is one of subtraction. You're cutting things away. You eliminate debt, you eliminate risk, you eliminate all those monthly payments. The entire point is to build this impenetrable financial fortress around yourself where you're safe and secure. Kiyosaki's path, on the other hand, is all about addition. You're not cutting away, you're building up. You add knowledge, you add assets, you add new streams of income. So instead of a fortress for safety, you're building a financial engine designed to create freedom.
And that really leaves the big question for you to think about. What are you trying to build? Are you building a financial fortress designed to keep you safe from any storm that comes your way? Or are you building a financial engine designed to propel you to brand new destinations? There's no single right answer, only the one that's right for the future you want to create.